Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, the information war or the propaganda war is sometimes trying to break the news and give the news the right spin for your audience and be the first one who breaks the news. Let's say your enemy advances somewhere, succeeds to, let's say, conquer a position, take over a position. And they will talk about it and they will provide evidence and all that. But that's that psychological aspect which says that the first one who breaks the news, the second one who's going to come to say otherwise will be a little bit less trustworthy and has to bring more arguments than the first one, the initial person who broke the news. So for instance, if they beat my ass over there, I will report that they tried but they didn't succeed. It's undecided and all that. I'm not going to say they didn't do it. I'm going to say, well, it's hard over there, they tried but we pushed them back and it's undetermined. They will come with their story. No, we won, we beat them. And my audience is deja already was propagandized, and people, other weasels pick my story up and they push it far away. While those guys come with their stories, nobody's going to use it unless they're friends. All right, so we have here, I think, that kind of example in Kupiansk. Now in Kupiansk, the Russians are advancing, have been advancing, and it's a place where actually the Russians have their biggest success on the front. And here is the Ukrainians, I think, doing exactly what I said at the beginning of this video. They are the first to break the news. In case the Russians will come with their story, is going to be the second one, which is going to be hard. The same as with the elections. When you have a certain kind of news outlet says, I call Florida for the Democrats. The other ones are going to be like, shit, he called it first. Well, it's going to be hard to say, no, that's not true. But anyway, that's right. That's a little game here. They try to show unanimity. Therefore, that's all true and blah, blah, blah. So here it is. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda, and this is what they report on September 7th, 2023. Russians to try to occupy Kupiansk and are forming assault units. That's correct. They're trying. Now, where is Kupiansk? Here is the map of Ukraine. And here is where the war is. Kupiansk is right here, right in the east, in the Kharkiv region. This right here, this is Kupiansk right here. Kharkiv is right here, or Kharkov. This is the Russian map, so they will call it Kharkov. This is where the Russians have been advancing, and if you remember, the Ukrainians conducted a evacuation here. About what, 30 some, according to some 32 or 33 settlements, according to some other 50 settlements. And these guys who are in danger of being attacked by the enemy, which is the Russians, did not want to leave because probably they don't want to be deoccupied, or they don't care if they're occupied by the Russians. I don't know yet. But nevertheless, here is the Kupiansk thing right here. This is the area. So let's see what else these guys say. So this is an old picture with Kupiansk when the Russians retreated last fall. So the Russian military is forming assault units and will attempt to occupy the city of Kupiansk in Kharkiv Oblast. So they got there already. So they never been so close to Kupiansk. They were all, in the vicinity, blah, blah, blah. But now the Ukrainians say, oops, they are ready to attack this city right here. Will attempt to occupy the city. Assault units, that means people, units. Not boom, boom. Anyway, helped with that, obviously, supported by shelling. Oleg Sinyehobov, head of Kharkiv Oblast Military Administration, on air during the 24/7 National Joint Newscast. And I'm quoting, the enemy continues to form assault units. They currently have the goal of storming the Kupiansk front. They will try to occupy this city, Kupiansk, but we are convinced that they won't because they have no success on the battlefield. The last part here is make believe, all right? It's just, that's the way they wish. Good, wishful thinking. Why not? The same guy said on the night of 6 to 7 September, attacks intensified in the north of the oblast, Bohodukhiv and Kharkiv districts, as well as the Vovchansk and Kupiansk fronts were attacked. So it seems like the Russians are doing something on the north of this. Now right here, by Kitrali, this area. Now the Russians did not report anything. This is from the 5th. This is the map from the 5th. This is today is the 7th, so you're not gonna see anything, but anything updated, because these guys are slackers, it seems like. Now, Hubov also said that the population of Izium has increased from 2 to 3,000 to 27,000 since its liberation. Very good, very good. That means peace and prosperity is in Ukraine. Nevertheless, so I suspect that in the future, in the near future, which is next 2-3 days, the Russians, to hear that the Russians conducted a decisive offensive on Kupiansk, and probably they were successful. But these guys broke this news. I think if they talk about it like that, in these terms, something that they don't wish to happen probably already happened. But we'll find out. As of now, I just got a gut feeling, but this is not really a gut feeling, because I based my my conclusion partly on past events and how they reported previous situations. For instance, Bakhmut and Mariupol. These were clear examples. The same thing they did. Those were two clear examples. In Bakhmut, the same. We're not losing. They're not attacking. And then all of a sudden it fell. I called it a month before. They announced, it fell, but it's actually not important. And a month ago they said it's the most important thing. If Bakhmut falls, the whole front falls. It didn't. The same, it was always, if Mariupol falls, the whole front falls. Didn't. Why? Because these guys try to create panic so their masters can give them more weapons, so they can use the Ukrainian nation to be decimated by these guys, and the Ukrainian nation will try to decimate the Russian nation. And that's how cousins or brothers fight with one another for people they don't know. But they have money. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.